And we're back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and we're going to go over this footage right here for Fulcrum Ahsoka. Boy, it looks like she could be a turn 1 Annihilate. I hope that got your attention. She could be very awesome. We will see. Of course, we will know in the weeks to come. Thinking that she's going to be released on the official 40th anniversary date, which is May 25th, which will be the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. Happy birthday, 40 years of Star Wars. It's also noteworthy that this is not going to be the June fan favorite that was confirmed by EA Jesse on Twitter. So there is still hope for a Jedi Luke of some kind. Maybe that will happen at the EA Play event. I know that the community at large believes that is going to happen. Let's take a look at Ahsoka's kit. We're going to go over all of it. First things first is that she is basically just a rebel. She's not a Jedi, and she is not a part of the Phoenix Squadron. So she just has the rebel tag as well as attacker and light side. Her basic attack is Balanced Strike, deal physical damage to target enemy and gain 40% protection up for 2 turns. This does not stack, so basically every time she attacks, her protection up is just going to go to 40%. If she already had protection up, it's just going to go to 40%. And grant protection up to a random ally for 2 turns. It was confirmed by the developers that this protection up will go to a random ally that does not already have protection up. So that is good. It'll spread it around. Meditate. Ahsoka gain Foresight, each non-unique buff. Now that's very key right there. Non-unique buff. Present on other allies for 2 turns, and then gains 15% turn meter for each buff on her. Now I like this because she should get 100% turn meter and immediately be able to go right after doing Meditate. So she's going to get all of the positive status effects on her team. She's only going to gain 1 for each non-unique buff, so it's not going to be multiple health ups or anything like that. And she should be able to get 100% turn meter provided the team is built around this. Now this is why that is awesome. Special 2 Whirlwind. Consume all buffs on Ahsoka and deal physical damage to target enemy. This attack scores an additional hit for each type of buff consumed. And my understanding is the maximum amount of extra hits that she can get is 10. So that'll be a total of 11. I don't know. We'll see how that works. But that was what was said in the podcast that came out the other day. But that was the first podcast I've ever listened to in my entire life. I've never watched a podcast. Very interesting. So what that means is that she could, in theory, be a turn 1 Annihilate. Look at this footage right here. She meditates, gains all the positive status effects immediately, and boom, she basically one-shots Baze. Very exciting, if you ask me, especially if you build a team around this. Who knows, maybe Yoda will have something good to do with that and getting all these positive status effects. I think Yoda would be very useful for that. And then, lastly, her unique is Perseverance. Ahsoka is immune to damage over time effects. That seems kind of cool, because that has to do with Vader and her battle with Vader at the end of Season 2 of Rebels. At the end of each turn, Ahsoka dispels all debuffs on herself and loses 10% health for each debuff dispelled, then recovers 5% health for each buff on her. This health loss can't defeat Ahsoka, and that's at the end of each turn. So her turn, another ally's turn, one of your opponent's turn. Basically, she's going to be Teflon. There's going to be no negative status effects on her at any time. They're always going to be disappearing, and she's going to be taking damage. Seems pretty balanced, but she can't be stunned. She can't be shocked. She can't be dazed. None of that stuff is going to stick on her. She's just going to be taking damage from that. And then, if she gets all those positive status effects from Meditate, and then she goes first, she's going to be going turn 1 and just nuking your tank. I think that's pretty awesome. I could see B2 just wrecking Ahsoka. I think B2 is going to have a resurgent because B2 is an effective counter to not only Ahsoka, but probably Sharut and Baze. I just see B2 blowing up if Ahsoka becomes very strong. Also, take a look at this footage right here, and we'll just end the video on this of how it works in the AAT Tank Raid Phase 2. Kind of impressed. Looks pretty good. What do you think? I'm still pretty hopeful for the fan favorite coming out in the month of June. Hopefully it is Luke. We will see. A lot of people also looking for Thrawn. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and keep on gaming.